So today I thought I'll just make a video about just a few layers of the mind from the yogic perspective. So this is not my information. This is in my culture for thousands of years, where they actually divided in a broad way, divided the mind into four layers, I would say. And I'm going to just speak about the first two layers that plays a role in counseling. So the first two layers that the mind is divided into, the topmost or the tip of the iceberg, if you may, is called Buddhi. And Buddhi, basically the word means intellect, and in a way that's where the word Buddha comes from. It means the person who has transcended their intellect. And just to use an analogy to connect what the intellect is, it's like a very sharp knife, right? So intellect, it's very good at breaking down things, and we've broken down a lot of things in physical matter. And the second layer is called Ahamkara, where people associate it with ego, and it can be identity. And so I'm going to use the word identity here. And there are different levels or layers or depth of things that we identify with. I can say I'm a man, I'm spiritual, I'm a counselor, I'm Indian, I'm this, I'm that. Those are pretty much surface level identities or physical level identities, and it goes deeper. So to bring in the analogy that I used here, or the metaphor that I used earlier, of if the intellect is a sharp cutting knife, the buddhi is your sharp cutting knife, the knife on its own is not a problem, right? It's like we don't give a sharp knife to a kid because the knife is a problem. It's a kid's hand, right, that holds it. It's not really steady. That's why we don't give a knife to a little kid. And so in this analogy, your identity is the hand that holds your intellect. And so a lot of us, we put the intellect on a pedestal, and we're not really aware of the identity of the hand that's holding this intellect. So in counseling, why I bring this concept into counseling, along with karma in my previous video, it comes down to core beliefs. And to quote one of my favorite psychologists here, Carl Jung, he says, until you make your unconscious conscious, it will direct your life and you will call it fate. So what unconscious are we talking about? A lot of us are not aware of the core beliefs we have about ourselves, that we hold at a very depth, that started developing probably at the age of 5 or even younger sometimes. And that is your identity. That is holding this very sharp intellect. And unfortunately, if you're not aware of it, you're going to keep stabbing yourself with this, which I see a lot of us doing this today. And most of the core beliefs, if you look at my previous post as well, those are my core beliefs as well, which I've been healing the last decade and I continue to heal, is if you believe you're not enough just the way you are, you're not worthy of people's time, energy, and love just the way you are, you don't matter, you cannot take up space, or you shouldn't be a burden to someone. Those are these identities that we have at our very core. And almost every thought, when it comes to situations, these automatic thoughts, the source is your core belief. And if you're not aware of it, yeah, you're going to keep stabbing yourself with a very, very sharp intellect.